Hey Fresh Start Badasses, Kellie Rae here. Today we're going to be talking about sweet cravings, something that most of us have experienced, maybe even very regularly. There's several reasons that you may have sweet cravings. Now, since you're on a cleanse right now, you're on a dietary protocol that is, pretty strict. You may experience, especially in this first week, this first 10 days or so, you may experience some sweet cravings that seem overwhelming to you, where you just you can't, feel like you can't stand it. You have to have something sweet. Even though you're allowed to have fruit, and fruit is very good for kind of curbing the sweet cravings for the most part, sometimes we just feel like we need a little bit of extra. I do have a few kind of tricks up my sleeve when I do cleanses and diets and things. There are certain foods that I turn to that really seem to help quite a bit when I'm going into that that moment. Because once that moment gets started, I don't know if you're like me, but once you see chocolate, you see a yummy dessert on TV, or someone else is eating something that you love. Once that gets started, then you get it in your mind, and then you just keep going and going, and until that thing gets curbed, it usually won't go away. So I learned this a long time ago, though, with sweet cravings. Sometimes it's best just to go on and indulge. Give yourself what you need at that moment, so that you don't go on a binge, or you don't go blow it worse than what you would if you hadn't done anything, because sometimes those things can just fester and fester until you go eat a whole quart of ice cream or a whole apple pie or whatever. So there's a couple things that that are on your protocol that I turned to. The last time I did this cleanse, I ate whole organic dates, also juicing, or a banana, frozen banana especially, juicing an orange. Organic unfiltered raw honey is perfect, because it not only just tastes amazing, but organic raw honey has the most delicious nutritional properties of many foods. It's very high up on the nutritionally dense foods on the planet. And so not only are you dealing with the sweet craving, but you're giving your body something that it really needs. So, those are some good things to turn to. Today I'm actually going to make a juice for you that I call the apple pie juice, that is so yummy. It literally tastes like drinking an apple pie. So one of my favorites to go to if I'm really needing a little bit of extra energy, feeling like I just have to have something sweet, it's perfect to go to. I'm going to go through, in just a minute I'll go through the list of what's in there, and of course I'll post the recipe. But a couple things today also want to talk to you about. Sweet cravings is just one thing that can happen and kind of feel like an emergency situation when you're going through dietary change protocols like this. And one of the things that you need to be, we've talked about a little bit before, you need to be prepared. You need to, in your mind think, if this happens, what am I going to do? Am I going to go through the drive-thru McDonald's and get an ice cream cone with chocolate dip, or am I going to go to what I allow myself to have, my go-to thing that's going to, try and abate that craving. So you have to have something to turn to. If you're out and about and you don't have time to run home, or you don't have anything with you, then you're going to be way more likely to go and deviate at the grocery store, at the fast food restaurant, wherever, to get what you need. So what I do is I take baggies of the dates. I also have been known to carry, the organic honey with me, or a banana or an orange, something with me that I can just, in a moment's notice, I can just, oh yeah, I really need this. I've got a sweet craving, so I'm going to turn to this. So this is a time for you to really think about being prepared, not just with the sweet stuff, but with anything, with, just, carrots, cucumber, tomato, things that are on the protocol. Just carry with you when you're going to be out and you're not going to be home for a while. Carry them with you, so that if you do get hungry, that you can turn to those things and you can stop the pain, the hunger pains, and really give yourself a fighting chance to make it. Because I know if you've been used to going and just running to the drive-through, picking up those really fast, convenient things, then those that habit is not going to be broken overnight, so you're going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to give yourself some time to break those old habits. So, and the other thing about sweet cravings is the reasons why we have sweet cravings, you know, a lot of it can be psychological. You know, we really have gotten accustomed to, you know, in the typical American diet to turn to sweet things for a pick-me-up, for that high, that energy boost. So that's one thing. But there is also some science behind it. There is some things that are going on in your gut right now that, you know, maybe your flora, you know, in your intestines, your digestive system has gotten used to having those sweet things, the extra carbs, the processed sugar. All of those things can create what's called like rebounding. Your body wants more and more. It's like an addiction. It literally is an addiction for your body on a microscopic scale addiction, should I say. So when you go on diets and you change your protocol like that, your body kind of goes into withdrawal. You know, it feels that, and it feels the lack of the energy that those processed sugars created in the first place. So it wants more naturally. So that's where the cravings come in. Literally, your body is telling you what it wants. So you can either choose to give it what it wants, you know, meaning, you know, go to the Snickers bar, go to the ice cream, or, you know, you can break that habit and you can give it some sugar, but give it some sugar that is going to be healthy for you, that's going to give your body some nutrition, okay? So just a couple things. So really, literally, the only way to break that cycle is just to break it. You know, just go on and do it. Do what you need to do. Cleanses like this really have a tendency just to cut things off, and that's why they're important. It's important to do these things periodically, not just, you know, once in your lifetime, but periodically, maybe, you know, once or twice a year, so that you can break that cycle and you can give yourself a fresh start. Action steps for the day. You know, put into place a plan for when you have sweet cravings. You know, write it out and then apply it. You know, do that. Do whatever that you have, you know, think will work for you. Okay, and, you know, also analyze the triggers that you have. Analyze, you know, what's happening in my mind? What am I thinking? What am I feeling when I really want something sweet? Sometimes when I get kind of down or, you know, lonely, feeling sad about something, that's when I want to go for the chocolate. That's when I want to go for something that is sweet. It just makes you feel good. So, but analyze those things, write them down, and kind of figure out what your triggers are. So for next time, when it happens, you have a plan in place. You know that it's coming and you know what to do, okay? And, you know, look at your journal prompts today, and, you know, keep up on the psychological part of this cleanse, because it's very important just to, you know, really recognize what's going on the inside, what's spiritually, energetically, what's going on with you while you're doing this, so that you can change some of these habits that have tripped you up in the past, okay? Well, today I'm going to make something. I love this recipe. I've loved it for a couple years now. Perfect for really satisfying the sweet craving, but, you know, tons, just cram-packed full of nutrition. I'm not going to juice while I'm on camera today because it really is kind of loud and hard to hear. So I'm just going to tell you what's in it, and then I'll post the recipe, and then I'll be back with you after I've juiced the items. I have 2 whole Gala apples. Okay, and 1 whole Bosch pear. You could also use the Anjou pear as well. I have 1 clementine orange, or you could use a small orange. I just use the clementine. Get out, baby. And then I have a whole small sweet potato. Okay, not one of those, you know, huge yams, but, you know, just it was about this big. And then I have 2 carrots. Okay, so I'm going to juice that up, and I will be right back with you to finish out the recipe. Okay, I'm back. I've got that all juiced up. It makes about 12 to 14 ounces or so. But this one you'll probably want to drink all of it. So yeah, it fits really nicely in that wine glass. Okay, couple things. I have it's actually a pie spice. You know, it could be a pumpkin pie spice or an apple pie spice. Basically, the combination of cinnamon, nutmeg. Let's see what else does it have in it. Ginger, allspice, sprinkle that on top, a little bit of that, and I'm just going to give that a little stir. You don't want to get all that in the first drink, so stir that up a little. Okay, so get that nice and stirred up, and I'm just going to garnish with my little apple wedge, and let's give that a try. It's delicious. It's just super sweet. Again, for sweet cravings, it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. It literally does taste like an apple pie. Love it, love it. If you want it a little bit colder, you could actually put a couple ice cubes in there. The other thing is that if you don't have a juicer and you would like to make this as a smoothie, you could do that. You would need to add a little bit of liquid, so you could use your coconut water, your coconut milk would give it a kind of more of a creamy, and then you're going to need to blend that for probably a good 4 to 5 minutes, I imagine, with the sweet potato and the carrot in there. So it is possible, so don't, make an excuse, well, I can't make that because I don't have a juicer. No, you can make this into a smoothie. So just play with it, come up with what works for you. Maybe throw some of your favorite fruits and together in a smoothie and see what happens. Hey, you got nothing to lose. So, all right, well, that's all I have for today. You guys, power and energy to you for this cleanse. If you need anything, if you feel like you're about ready to have a setback and you really need to talk, I'm here. Post your questions, post your comments in the group, and we can work it out. We will figure this out together. We're on this journey together, and I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Here's to you.